Hey guys, Radio MMA back here with another video. This time we're talking about John Dodson taking on Manny Gamburyan. This will go down at UFC on Fox 19, and we'll just get right into it. The Magician, John Dodson, is 5'3", 125 pounds, 66-inch reach. He's the southpaw, Jackson's MMA, and he debuted all the way back in 2002. He is 17-7, 8 knockouts, 2 submissions. Okay, so we scroll down to his MMA career, and his early career, was up and down a little bit till he made it to the UFC. The fight before the UFC was a nice win over John Moraga. Then he debuted in the UFC against TJ Dillashaw, a TKO victory. That's a fight that TJ Dillashaw still wants back. Nice win over Tim Elliott. Then he fights Demetrius Johnson for the UFC Flyweight Championship. That was fight of the night, January 26, 2013. Comes back from that, faces Monteague, gets that win, faces Moraga again, gets that victory, then grabs another one at UFC 187. Fights Demetrius Johnson at UFC 191 for the Flyweight Championship, and that was another decision loss. Okay, we head on over to Manny Gamburyan, and talking about Manny, he's been around for a while, 34 years old, 5'5", 135 pounds. Look at the divisions he's been in. Bantamweight, featherweight, lightweight, welterweight. You see this guy at a welterweight? Crazy shit. Fighting out of North Hollywood, California. Glendale Fighting Club. So yeah, 15 wins, 8 losses, 1 no contest. Manny really had a bad streak there. He loses to Jose Aldo, loses to Tyson Griffin, loses to Diego Nunes. Got things going again. Had that no contest with Dennis Seaver. Loses to Nick Lentz, who is really a great fighter. Comes back, beats Cody Gibson submission, and he beats Scott Jorgensen at UFC Fight Night, Murr versus Duffy, back in July. So he's had roughly, by the time this fight goes down, he'll have been off for like 10 months or so. Okay, so let's head on over to the betting odds here, and let's see what they're picking. Okay, so we scroll down to UFC Fight Night, and Manny plus 370, Dodson minus 560. So that's interesting stuff. Now, let's see. Manny, has he been knocked out much in his career? His loss to Nick Lentz was a decision loss. Loses to Nunes, decision. Loses to Tyson Griffin, decision. He was knocked out by Jose Aldo. Thiago Tavares was a decision. Got knocked out by Rob Emerson. He faced Nate Diaz, submission, but that was a shoulder injury all the way back at Ultimate Fighter 5. If you guys remember that, he was actually winning that fight till he hurt himself. The fight with Sean Shirk was a decision. So he's been knocked out a few times, but it really hasn't happened that often. Head back on over to John Dodson. He, like we said, he has those 2 losses to Demetrius Johnson. TKO'd Moraga. Knocked out Monteague. Let's see what else. TKO'd, there's another fight. He got the TKO victory. TKO victory over TJ Dillashaw. So you know what? I'm going to call this. I'm going to go with Dodson to get the TKO victory over Manny Gamburyan. Love Manny. He's done the radio show for me pretty much whenever I've wanted him on the show, but I just think this is a fight where he's facing really top competition, and he's facing probably the best guy he's faced in a very long time. Um, I'd say Manny's he's done well for himself, but like Scott Jorgensen is not the same fighter he used to be. Obviously, that Nick Lentz fight was a decision loss, but and Nick Lentz is a very good fighter. But it'll be interesting. We'll see. We'll find out. I'm going to go with Dodson here. Obviously, he's a huge favorite, so you never know what's going to happen. But my pick here is going to be John Dodson.